four pillars of critical reasoning are premise, assumption, inference, and conclusion. Let's walk through them all one by one. Premise. A premise is a statement that is assumed to be true and from which a conclusion can be drawn. A premise is the basis of an argument. There cannot be any argument without a premise on which it is based. For example, if we say, unfit cricketers hamper the progress of the entire team. That is the reason Ishant should not be selected in the team. Yet the premise is that unfit cricketers hamper the progress of the entire team. And the subsequent argument, the reason that Ishant should not be selected in the team, is based on this premise. Please note that there can be more than one premise on which an argument is based, and more often than not, we all rely on more than one premise when we make an argument. Assumption. An assumption is a statement which can either be true or false, but is accepted as true only for the purpose of the argument which follows. An assumption is that which, although bearing no explicit mention, is taken for granted and on the basis of which a conclusion is drawn. For example, when we say, unfit cricketers hamper the progress of the entire team, that is the reason Ishant should not be selected in the team. In this case, the assumption is that Ishant is unfit, even though it is not explicitly mentioned, and without this assumption, the argument falls apart. Inference. Inference is the result of a logical process of drawing conclusions from a collection of data and relationships between data and potential conclusions. An inference is logically derived on the basis of factual data, which along with the assumptions lead to the conclusion. For example, when we say unfit cricketers hamper the progress of the entire team, that is the reason Ishant should not be selected in the team. In this case, Ishant is going to hamper the entire team is an inference based on the premise that unfit players hamper the team and the assumption that Ishant is unfit. Other inferences can also be made, like Ishant was considered for the selection of the team, or Ishant wanted to be part of the team. Such statements, though not explicitly mentioned, can also be logically deduced. And finally, conclusion. A conclusion is a final proposition which is arrived after the consideration of evidences, assumptions, or premises. A conclusion is what the author of an argument arrives at following the premise, the data given, the assumptions made, and the inferences drawn. For example, when we say unfit cricketers hamper the progress of the entire team, that is the reason Ishant should not be selected in the team. In this case, Ishant should not be selected in the team is the conclusion. To understand these concepts even better, let us take one more example.